the Bros, the Brew, and it's Memorial Day weekend upon us, and that means lots of time to play games. And Joel out there, you just bought yourself a new game system, didn't you? What'd you pick up?
PlayStation 4.
All right. Have you played it at all yet?
Yeah, I got MLB The Show.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, wait a minute. Baseball game. Beautiful. I expect nothing less out of you, by the way. And I expect you to win it, by the way. But hey, at today's Brew, we're talking about video games. You want to know what's the best system out there right now? We want to know what's the best system ever. We're going to take your comments, so chime in live right now. Just type in down below. We want to talk to you. Thanks for live viewers for joining us right now. Joel, so what made you decide to go with your system?
It was actually kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision. Joe has my Twitter poll stats that are available there. But it was more of like, that was the deal that I saw in the store. And the things that I was looking for a first-person shooter capable thing, something that can handle YouTube, Netflix, and MLB TV, because that's all I use. And then it also has the show. And I figure if I'm going to buy any one game, I want to get at least $1 per hour of entertainment use out of it.
It's a good value.
So I know that if I'm only going to get one game, I'm going to get more than my money's worth out of the show.
So you put a survey on Twitter to see which one you should have bought. So let's go to the survey poll right now and find out. We see that 3% of people said Switch, 6% said Wii U, 39% said PlayStation 4, and 52% said Xbox One. Do you agree with those results?
My former roommate had the Xbox One, so we had that for a while. And I kind of like the PlayStation 4 better. I think I made the right decision because it's just quicker. It's more efficient.
Yeah.
It doesn't have Halo. It doesn't have Gears of War. But for most of the first-person shooters are the same, and the apps are way more up to date with the PlayStation 4. That's for sure.
Yeah, they do have the biggest library, number one, and number two, don't they? They also have the most amount of exclusives you can also play. But the one thing about that is it's not backwards compatible, right? You can't put an older game in there and play it. See, that's
right. That's exactly right.
Hey, that's a disappointment. It's almost like, the iPhone now. Like, you got to keep upgrading to, like, the newest app or whatever. Or computers, you can't, like, go backwards compatible. Like, I have old software for an old PC here, but it doesn't work on this one right here that I'm streaming our show with. And that's the way these companies although that's how they make money. But it sounds like you're pretty happy with your purchase.
I'm happy overall. I still need to explore a little bit further. I need to get the online service and a couple shooter games before I can give you like a better answer. But anybody that follows me on Twitter, you'll get that answer pretty soon.
And I understand you're also a formidable opponent when you play in baseball online.
I'll stomp everybody watching this.
I would bet on you, but I'm also very biased in my decision. So we've got a few people, we put this out on social media, asked what you thought was the best game console. Tony chimed in and he said, Switch, baby. Console gaming on the go is a game changer. The operating system isn't even finished yet, and it's already one of my favorite gaming devices ever. They introduced the Switch one night on Jimmy Fallon, and he demoed it, and it does look pretty cool how you can just pick it up and walk around with your game. I mean, you could actually take it in the subway here and play if you don't worry about being online.
Right. If your normal commute is you being in the subway, and I know half the people watching this, or probably more than half the people watching this, that's the case, then it makes sense. Unfortunately for me, it doesn't, because I'm not on my phone much on the go either.
Yeah.
If I am, I'm taking pictures. I'm always with somebody, or I'm driving to work, or I'm driving somewhere else.
Yeah,
or
don't drive in game.
I'm never just focused on that one thing in front of me waiting for something.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing here. You do have access to Wi-Fi, going down the streets. There are a lot of hotspots, and now even the subway offers Wi-Fi. So theoretically, you could play. I know sometimes my phone, I can't get the reception down there, so I don't really try to do it. I play a couple apps online. That's about it. Let's take another viewer comment right now. And Darren the intern says, PlayStation 4. I've been gaming since Super Mario Brothers in '86, and it's by far the best. Old school Nintendo is still cool too. I agree with that. I love everything Mario. It's I could play any Mario game anytime. And next time I'm out there visiting you, by the way, download Mario is going to play on your couch. But that's how I fell into video games way back in the day. Super Mario Brothers. It's the best. Don't you think?
It's my favorite of all time. Matter of fact, and I'll just answer this question ahead of time. The greatest console of all time is...
Ooh, we're getting a visual aid. Hold on, we're getting a visual aid.
It's in my living room, so hold on. It's literally hooked up to my 4K TV.
Okay, don't rip apart your 4K TV. We are live right now. Oh, the Super Nintendo!
This is it right here.
Yeah!
This is my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
This is what got me into games. The games are so simple, but so fun.
Yeah, and that's coming back out.
There's so much quality in them.
That's coming back out this Christmas, too. They're making the small version like they did last year,
Oh, that's cool. I know they did that with Sega Genesis and old Nintendo NES.
Yeah, and the
So
old
if
Nintendo
people
sold
doing
out
this,
because there was I work above the Nintendo store in Manhattan, and there was a freaking line around the block for the old school Nintendo, but they completely sold out, and they're thinking the same thing's going to happen for the Super Nintendo. More money in Nintendo's
yeah.
pocket.
Hey, it's likely. Hey, good for
Hmm.
them. I don't know why they discontinued the Wii U or whatever. I can't remember if it was the Wii U or the old NES that you're talking about, but they
It's
discontinued one of them.
yeah, it's the
And
old
if you look at the
NES.
prices now, people are reselling them
Yeah,
online new for like twice as much.
yeah. Well, their excuse was with the old NES that they only made X amount. They didn't make enough, and they sold out initially. Like people were flocking to the store, and they didn't have any more. Because they only sent like a couple per store.
Yeah.
It was almost, I think it was one of those like Black Friday jobs. They try to get you in the store to buy stuff, and that's what happened with that thing. And that's probably what's going to happen again with the Super Nintendo this year. But I don't know. I mean, I'll look for the line around the Nintendo store in Manhattan again. We'll see.
I'm sure that they'll learn from last year's thing too. So they'll probably have twice as many, or I don't know what the amount was or
Hmm.
what the demand was exactly. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But I guarantee that since that's the case, they will definitely be prepared better for the Super Nintendo release.
Or do you think it's one of those deals where they're doing it on purpose that they can make more money, make everybody excited for it? It's like when they brought back Crystal Pepsi. People went nuts for paying like $20 for a 4-pack of it just to get that experience. And then once they sold out, and Pepsi made their money. So is that what Nintendo's doing? Because I'm going to say probably yes.
I don't know. I've been a huge Nintendo fan my entire life, and I feel like they're not like allergic to making money. I feel like they would put more out and that they would get more
Mm-hmm.
in sales by putting more of them out rather than just a few and charging more.
Yeah, you would think
Like where
so.
it's more accessible, or you're sucking in more people that might be future gamers that might want to get the Nintendo Switch, for example.
Yeah, you would totally think so. Let's take another viewer comment. Trey. Trey says definitely the PlayStation 2 best-selling system of all time. PS2. What do you think?
First of all, Trey, that's my brother from Cleveland. I love Trey. PlayStation 2, that kind of put Sony on the map. The PlayStation 1 was huge, but then the PlayStation 2 is what launched Sony into the gaming world. So it's hard to argue with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And speaking of arguing about a few things, so Anthony says, I mean, besides NES and SNES, probably Dreamcast, then PlayStation 2. But who's counting? So even he's picking the original NES and Super NES over top of Dreamcast and PlayStation 2. It's old school gaming right there is what it sounds like to me.
Well, back when it was old school gaming, you have to remember that Sega and Nintendo made different games. That was the big
Mm-hmm.
rivalry, and you
Yeah,
could only get certain games on each one. So
exactly.
the games mattered more than they do now, where most of them are cross-platform, sometimes on all three of the main
Yeah.
consoles. So it kind of is a preferential thing. Whatever you grew up with is probably a little nostalgic as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have to admit, my very first video game, by the way, was the Atari 2600. Okay, I know I'm older than you, little bro. I know that. But the Atari 2600, and I'm one of the few people on this planet that still owns the E.T. extraterrestrial game from the Atari that destroyed Atari and allowed Nintendo to come to America and
Oh, shit.
reign supreme.
Don't tell people that. They're going to come for you.
I'll sell it to you. If you want my ET game, put up the right price, I will go home and get it for you because it's just sitting in a box. I don't want it anymore. But that's the thing. Back then, you're right, though. They tried to the games were so simple. And ET, that game flat out sucked. They rushed it to the market trying to, make the tie in with the movie for that Christmas, and it bombed. And that's how Nintendo was able to come to America and reign supreme. We got one
You
more.
own the one that was dug up in Mexico?
Yeah, actually, they found those. I watched it. It was a History Channel special or it was some cable special here not so long ago where they actually went and researched it, and they found them. They found a whole bunch of them that was buried in some little
Those
town's
ones are worth a
landfill.
lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, I got one that's actually played, and I was never able to beat the game. By the way, I admit it. We have one more viewer comment. Let's take that right now. Where Michael says, "Nintendo NES. Who didn't like 8-bit games back in the day? They were very simple, and what's funny is now you can actually download them as an app on your phone and play, which is kind of cool, and that's great that they're coming back that way."
I was going to say you can do that with the Wii U. So they're still good sellers now, even kind of retroactively, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what do you think though of the free game selection on Xbox Live? I understand that they have more free games than what you can get on the on a PlayStation 4, but is it
Right.
worth it or is that just not really?
Well, I had it for like a year,
Mhm.
and the games that they give you aren't the cream of the crop, unless they were the cream of the crop like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Then they're finally available for free.
yeah.
But what's cool is they still give you like really good deals. Every month they give you different deals. And so if you find something that you really loved and you played it once, at your friend's house 4 years ago, and then now you see dollars.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it pretty easy to make that decision, and it's convenient. So that's another bonus for them.
We want to thank our live viewers for chiming in, by the way. And if you want more fun, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss my web show, Kicking Back with Jersey Joe, on Thursday this week. Yeah, I'm bearing it all once again as Jersey Joe's Bathtub Thoughts. I have no shame, by the way, and you don't think about crazy things in the tub. You'll find out what I got, my crazy
I don't
thoughts.
want to think about Joe in a tub.
Yes, you do, while drinking a beer. That's Thursday at noon on YouTube. Kicking Back with Jersey Joe. Thanks for the love, by the way. And Joel, thank you for joining us for the show today. And I want to thank our live viewers. Jersey Joe here, Ion. See you next time, I hope.